let's jump right into it. We've got some Marvel stuff, specifically James Gunn. He's released some interesting comments on the...
Just to clarify, he is the director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yes.
And upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
And not
Very
the
successful
director
director.
of
Nerd.
other
Spider-Man.
things.
Other thing. Yeah,
yes.
that is correct. Yeah, that's a great point. So he's the director of Guardians. He's not the director of Spider-Man: Homecoming, but he did respond to the backlash about the potential casting of Mary Jane. The potential casting being I don't want to mess up her name, but I think it's Zendaya.
Yeah. I'm sure it's Zendaya.
Zendaya. Okay, who is an African American actress, and I think we can expect. In this day and age, we can expect whenever there's some sort of weird, or different casting...
comic book change.
Correct, change.
Yeah.
I just want to read a real quick quote from James Gunn because I think it sums up his position perfectly. People get upset when something they consider intrinsic to a comic book character changes when adapted for a film. I get this. There are movies I dislike because I think there's a basic misunderstanding of the story or the character when the comic is transferred to film. I still hate how in the first Batman movie the Joker was revealed as the murderer of Bruce Wayne's parents, for instance. That said, I do not believe a character is the color of his or her skin.
Is that the Michael Keaton Batman?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wait, you didn't know that?
Yeah, I haven't actually seen that Batman,
Oh
so I was
my God,
surprised.
all of you
Yeah.
just
I
heard me
actually
right now.
haven't seen it.
Okay, let me
We're
just
terrible
say,
nerds.
I own it.
Oh, should probably watch it.
You
then
have
at
to
some
watch
point.
it.
Michael Keaton's...
You still have to watch Friday.
Yeah.
They've not seen
And then
Friday.
next Friday,
I don't
and
understand.
the
No,
Friday
no.
after that.
We'll just watch the first Friday.
Wait, are there actually movies?
There's 3
Yes,
of
and we're
And
just
that's
going to
what
watch
they're
the
called?
first
Oh, okay,
one.
interesting.
them.
Anyway,
Because
sorry.
you-
go
Oh,
ahead.
Yeah,
disappoint me.
just to finish
Okay.
real quick, when Michael B. Jordan was cast as Johnny Storm, I didn't understand the uproar. The primary characteristic of Johnny was not to me that he was white or that he had blonde hair, but that he was a fiery, funny, big-mouthed braggart of a hero. I was happy that he was going to be played by one of the finest and most charming young actors out there. So what James Gunn is pointing out is that people's backlash over this casting choice completely reduces the significance of what makes that character interesting and worth investing time in watching and learning about. Mary Jane is... how would you describe Mary Jane? She's not a
She's
a
the girl,
white,
she's the girl next
red-haired...
door.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
That doesn't necessarily dictate the color of your skin.
Right.
Or
She's
the
supposed to
color
be-
of your hair.
She's
Right.
supposed to be kind of like this...
Whoa. If she does not have red hair, I'm boycotting the film.
You do have a thing for redheads.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's kind of awkward.
Hi.
Yeah.
Wait, you have
So-
red hair?
What?
Anyway,
I think so. I just think I like the fact that James Gunn came out and kind of
Oh, yeah.
put people in their place and listen, there's bigger things to worry about. Come on. Let's move on.
may I speak
Yes.
first?
Sarah, you have the baton.
I have the speaking stick. I
need
need to
one
get a
of
speaking
those.
stick. First of all, I'm so disappointed that in this day and age, I have the speaking stick, the speaking group. I'm so disappointed that in this day and age, we are still freaking talking about this kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Stop, people.
Yeah.
And I'm really disappointed in nerds for throwing fits about this. Nerds, the fact that you can't get past that, you have been discriminated against for a long time because you're big old nerdy people. Now stop being assholes. Sorry, we're going to have to bleep me, aren't we?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Stop being jerks. And stop throwing fits because they want to make Mary Jane possibly black. Oh my
and
God.
I think that's the other thing too, right? It's
Who
not even.
cares?
It's not even a
it's
confirmed.
like rumor.
Right.
I'm so disappointed in the nerds and just in people in general for being complete dicks and for race still being an issue.
Yeah.
Just done with it.
You know
Over
what,
it.
you know what the saddest part of it is that no one's surprised by it. Like I think it's
I
almost
know,
expected.
but-
You,
It's crazy to me.
you make a casting choice like that, where who's casted, how they look isn't the important thing about that character, and it's expected that you're going to have that backlash. You can have these Twitter feuds and.
I mean, if Mary Jane was an amputee, okay, great. Then they're going to have to cut an appendage off. But like if that were part of her, yeah, that's like an intricate part of her character, fine. But that she could still be black. She could be Asian. She could be green for all I care.
Right.
It's just so
And
annoying.
I think the point like James Gunn's making is it's so insignificant what the color of her
Exactly.
skin is to the character. Like,
Yeah, I mean, correct me if,
You know what I
let's try and see where maybe these fans are coming from. Is there anything about Mary Jane where her being white or a redhead is important to her relationship with Peter Parker, or
The red hair is very important.
is it?
No,
It might
but
be.
Here's the
I don't
thing.
think it's that important.
I don't
Very
think it is
important.
either.
It's
It
just- it's
makes
just-
her stand out more.
Okay.
Well, and
You
something.
can do that creatively with color correction and whatnot.
Yes, to make sure her
Hey.
hair's red. I
Okay, fine. If
completely
it's
agree.
really important
Oh,
to you, red hair does not. You know what? They can make it pink even.
I'm fine with that
The
too.
color of someone's hair can be changed by that person. I could be blonde.
That's weird.
Okay.
I'm
Was
just
it?
saying, but I will say I think in the article they also I had a point. In the article, what they're saying is that I really liked, and I think was it James Gunn that said it. If we're going to continue to make movies based on the almost all-white heroes and supporting characters from the comics of the last century, we're going to have to get used to them being more reflective of our diverse present world. Perhaps we can be open to the idea that although someone may not initially match how we personally conceive a character, we can be, and often are, happily surprised. True, let's face it, comics in the last century were written by a bunch of white dudes. So it's very, very like homogenous when it comes to race.
Yeah.
With very few exceptions. So like that's not the way the world is. And I'm sorry, but Peter Parker goes to school in New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Newsflash.
Let me just say it right now.
Not in the middle of the
It's
country.
not in many.
This is where
many,
most of the
there-
backlash is coming from.
There are
Right.
places in every single state in this country where it's pretty homogenous. It's
Yeah.
in one way or another that it's where you don't get a lot of diversity, ethnic
Go-
diversity. That said,
Yeah.
he's in the middle of New York City. His dad is ethnically diverse. You don't go to high school in New York City
Yeah.
and everybody's white.
Right.
And-
It's
and-
not
So
going to happen.
why would
And,
MJ not be?
It's superhero diverse, as we know. There's lots of superheroes there that won't show up.
Wait, what?
Like
What, the high school?
From the Netflix shows.
Oh.
Still
New York City's like
Oh,
a
New
hot-
York City, I
is
see what
a
you're saying.
hotspot
Okay.
No,
for,
but I think my final point, for me at least, is just that they're also not like all of these movie studios that make comic book movies aren't making direct translations of the comic books. You know, they're adapted, they're made for the big screen. They're not literally just taking panels and making these movies. So there will be changes, and
Guess what?
you can't- and they should be changes too. Like you're
Yes.
Yeah.
adapting something.
Yeah, the last director to try that, Zack Snyder. And, you see what happens when you try and take something panel for panel. Sometimes, like Watchmen, a lot of people hated it because it was panel for panel like the comic book. So, there's interesting points on both sides.